Because I went to prison, you know what I mean? I spent like about 10 years in prison, like on and off, buying things and selling it, making money, living suave and things. I gave up on it. Like sometimes I smoke synthetic and I use ice. I know, man, like I know I'm doing the wrong thing, saying no to you because you're walking away. I remember you from North Richmond. Just around the flats and the streets, just on my day out there when, you know, I'm out there trying to get onto the heroin, because that's where you go to the streets and you get it over there. And I used to see you doing the similar sort of thing then, but we bumped into each other up there. You know, you're always happy and seem nice and, you know, friendly blokes.
And it used to be horrific, wasn't it? Like those days that you know, you used to see me. I used to come down, and sometimes like I'd be so sick, and if I'd see ya, you know, before I'd see anyone else, I'd be like, "Oh, Vu, you got anything? Can you help me out with a shot? Can you help me?" You know, and it'd be vice versa, wouldn't it?
It was heinous. Now that now it's not like a main part of our life. You look back at it, I look back at it, I think, yeah, it was heinous, especially what you just said. Like, I remember there were days where even I said no to you, you know what I mean? And like, you know, you would have helped me out before that. And I know, man, like I know I'm doing the wrong thing, saying no to you because you're walking away shattered, you know what I mean? And I know that feeling of being sick. I don't know why, but that stays with me for some reason. I used to see what you look like in the morning when you're hanging out. Like all of it was real bad.
Yeah, it's a really bad anxiety, isn't it, Vu?
Yeah, I go for more like discomfort. Yeah, anxiety, yeah, true, but discomfort is the worst part of it to me. The discomfort and pain, aching of the bones.
Aching of the bones.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
hardest part. Like a back pain. The back pain, yeah. I don't know if some people get leg pains, some people get back pains, but I got the back pains, and that was for me for some reason was the worst. I could stand the anxiety. I could stand I could literally force myself through the other things, but the pain and the sickness, I just couldn't do it.
The bad times start outweighing the good times, you know,
Yeah, true.
all the misery and pain it causes us.
Yeah, very true. I'm on the methadone now. It's been a few years now. It's an accomplishment in itself, but I did go backwards in many things. Like I went to, I smoked marijuana and I smoke bongs, and I look, sometimes I smoke synthetic and I use ice. You know, they're like the real mental health problems. You know what I mean? The drug that like ice and synthetic, and I smoke it a little bit, and like yeah, it doesn't really help that much. Brings on a lot of problems.
I heard the synthetic's really bad for people's mental health, you know.
It's more evil. Yeah, it is bad for the mental health, but ice is bad for worse. But like it's the evilness in it. There's something about it. I don't know. If you never had it, like I would never suggest it. You know, most people they go to hospital and things the first couple of times they have it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad drug, you know.
It is a bad drug. How was family life like growing up as a child?
Mum and dad are Vietnamese, and they were just like any other Vietnamese that got off the boat. You know, they worked hard. They had sewing machines in the back room. They used to sew all day just so they could feed the kids and make sure they could live. And I think we didn't have much, and they worked, you know, until I was about probably like, you know, 12 years old.
Do you have any siblings?
Two younger brothers. One's a bank, works at the bank at ANZ Bank, and one's in the army.
How long have you been off heroin for?
Started when I was 16. Got a habit when I was about 16. And ever since, really. Ever since. Like, it's only been a few years now that I've been off. I had a few years off a while back, but it's always been off and on heroin.
16's a very young age to get onto hard drugs, eh?
Yeah. When you think about it, it is, yeah.
What was the initial reason for you to touch heroin?
Party.
A party?
Yeah, just the party, you know, just to try it, just to see what it was, and you know.
So to party, or you were at a party?
No, just to like, you know, just with a friend. He had some heroin, and just to see what it was like. You know, like let's go smoke. You know, smoke some heroin, and you know what I mean. Get stoned in behind the gym at the school or whatever. And in the beginning, it was all fun and games. Everything was fun in the beginning when you do it like that, but then the fun starts to get zapped out of it, and just becomes a drug addiction.
It's like you're just doing it to get well.
Yeah. This is something. This is real bad.
Yeah. And Vu, why do you think that's an extreme to go to? Was there any gateway drugs, would you say?
Probably started with cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like as a little kid, like you're 14 and 13 and you're smoking cigarettes. It's illegal to smoke cigarettes when it's wrong when you're that young. That's kind of the gateway thing, you know what I mean? You're rebelling, you know what I mean? Smoking cigarettes.
How did it get to heroin so quickly?
There was another Asian chap, another Asian fellow in high school, when I was in like year 9 or 10 or something. And yeah, he knew about heroin and he introduced me to it. He showed me how to sell it and things and use it, and that's where it took off.
It's a very young age, Vu, man. Like 16 years old. It's like where does a 16-year-old access that kind of drugs? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, especially when you're 16. When I was 16, I used to that exact meaning. Like when I was 16, I'd pick up like, you know, back in them days, I'd pick up half a gram of heroin, and it would be like I think it was like $100 or something back then, and I'd sell it, and like, you know, you'd probably like 3 or 4 times your money, and so I felt like a sick cunt, you know what I mean? Selling drugs on the street and things. I felt like a real, high roller. It was only a couple $100, you know what I mean? But like, you know,
that's a lot of money for a young kid, yeah?
Yeah, I had nothing back then.
And the way you earned it, you know.
Yeah, it took like that quick, you know what I mean? Boom,
yeah.
Turned it over.
Definitely. Do you want to explain a little bit about that, you know, that life and, you know, the misery and the pain you could see that people are going through, especially on the unis? You want to explain a little bit about the loss of life and how many people we've lost over the years that we know from the unis?
The sad ones, yeah.
Yeah. You know, Gubsy died. He passed away last week.
About losing people on the street. Like heroin and the unis. We'll start with the unis. They're a bad thing to contribute to heroin. Like heroin use is bad enough. Unis, you get a stronger kick out of it, but like compared to the contribution it makes to the party, the side effects, and it outweighs the side effects. It's not worth it because you lose your veins, and you lose your, you know, you can lose your limbs. Not only that, you probably half by losing your self-esteem. Like, not only are you injecting heroin, you're injecting pills, you know, and losing people, like people ODing. I don't even know how to explain that one, man. That's so sad. Yeah, because it's like every single time, man. Should not have taken them.
Vu, what's your current circumstances right now?
At the moment, I'm actually real poor, real homeless, and I've got nothing. But the thing is, I give up on all that, selling drugs, and the quick life. You know what I mean? The life. Like, I haven't given up on the drugs. Using the drugs is still a problem, but the actual succeeding in drugs, I gave up on it. Actual succeeding in it. You know what I mean? Doing it well and things, and selling it, making money, living suave and things. I gave up on it. And I thought to myself, no, I don't want to earn my life that way.
Yep.
So that's basically where I'm at.
Yeah. What happened to your mother and father at the moment?
But the thing was, I found out I loved my mum and dad and my family more than they loved me. You know what I mean? And that really, really hurt my feelings. You know, and I couldn't handle it. Like, I just couldn't handle it, and I can't live there anymore. Because I went to prison. You know what I mean? I spent like about 10 years in prison, like on and off. You know what I mean? Like, I'd do a couple of years, I'd get out and stay home for like not even 2 months, and I'd go run amok out in Richmond, and I won't come, you know, then I'll go back to prison, you know, for like 8 months later. So it's only 2 months I spent with the family. So after 10 years of it, after 10 years of jail, I didn't know my family anymore. They had kids, you know what I mean? I didn't even know they were born and shit. I have to check my sanity and put it down to that's life. You know what I mean? Like they must have had a bad pill, and I had a bad pill, and it's just the way it worked out, you know. And I have to move on and fucking cop the sweet, you know. But when I got out, that's when I saw Mum with the patches on her head, or the grey patch on her head, and something must have happened to her before, you know, much before the incident with me. She must have went through something.